Howdy folks, let's plan the single most fun wedding reception that your friends and family have ever been to. I'm Mega Matt, and we're a wedding DJ entertainment service located right here in Mankato, Minnesota. For over 20 years, I've had the opportunity to help couples like you guys through this process. I'm going to give you the cheat sheet as to how to keep your guests there, having fun, and get them to go, this really was the most fun wedding reception that we've ever been to. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about a little bit of a general order for the night and what most people end up settling on when it's all said and done. Typically, there's a grand entrance of some sort, which consists of you guys or your wedding party all coming in. And then from there, there's a welcome from the dad or a quick little prayer, immediately followed by the meal. After we're, 2/3 of the way through the meal, a lot of couples sneak over, they do a quick little cake cutting, and when you come back, we're into the speeches. The typical order for the speeches is best man, maid of honor, parents and grandparents, and then you guys as a couple have a chance to speak, and it kind of culminates with you saying, here's how we're gonna party tonight. From there, I'll take it back and we'll do either a little kids dance, or if you wanna elect to do an activity, that's usually a good time to do it. And then after we're through that, it's first dance time. So first dance, if you're gonna do a father-daughter dance, if you're gonna do a mother-son dance, that's the typical order, and then it's just general dancing for the night. So now let's take each one of those little sections apart and spend a minute thinking through how you're gonna do it for your wedding. When it comes to the actual music that gets played during the DJ portion of the night, I tend to think of the night in thirds. So the whole night tends to be about 60 songs. 20 of them come from the guests doing requests throughout the night. 20 of them come from you guys as a couple deciding, hey, we wanna hear Up Down Funk or whatever the song of the day is. And then the last third comes from my 20 years of experience going, oh, they like this song, I have this guest request, let's bridge that gap with this type of music, right? And that's what I'm really doing on the music front for these wedding receptions that I'm going out to do every weekend. Let's talk a little bit about your grand entrance and how to make it memorable and fun for your guests. Most couples elect to do some sort of ramping grand entrance, meaning it starts fairly conversational. Hey folks, grab your seats, we're gonna get started here momentarily. And it ends on kind of like a mountaintop. Pretty crazy thing when you guys come through. Sometimes we'll play the song Thunderstruck or whatever song that you guys want. The big decision in the grand entrance is one, do you wanna do a grand entrance? And then two, are you gonna choose to have your wedding party be a part of it? Or is it just gonna be you guys as a couple? I'm seeing it more and more often where it's just the couple, especially if you do like an on-site wedding. So if your wedding happened at the same place, sometimes it's kind of nice to only have it just be you guys because your wedding party's already been with the rest of the group for the last couple of hours. So make that decision and we'll talk about that in person. Many couples elect to do a prayer as part of their meal. Immediately following the prayer, I'm surprised at how often I still hear the ring-a-ting-ting of the glasses. When that happens, my question to you is, how would you like to handle that? My suggestion to you is, if you do something called kiss and copy, it goes over really well. And what this consists of is the audience will demonstrate how to kiss, and then you guys have to mimic that exact same way. So you stand up, you pick an older couple, whatever the technique is that they use, then you guys mimic that exact same thing. Like every part of the night, I'll walk your audience through this so they know what's up. And then immediately following that, you're free to have your meal. Once you're into the meal, let's say like the buffet line is halfway through, a lot of couples go over, they cut their cake. And when you come back from the cake cutting, then we're into the speeches. As we're getting ready to start the speeches, a really fun thing to do is take 2.5 minutes and do the quick little back-to-back game. They're all questions like who started the fight, who ended the fight, who won. A lot of times we just play and you have one of your shoes and then one of your spouse's shoes. What that does is it causes your audience to sit down, get quiet, and more important, start listening. This sets the ground floor to be able to transition into your best man speech, your maid of honor speech, and then if your parents or grandparents would like to speak, that's usually a good time. Ultimately, it culminates with you guys as a couple standing up and saying, here's how we're gonna party tonight. Let's get crazy. Grandpa, I can't wait to see you in the end of the night photo. And I'll work with you guys when I meet with you to come up with what that speech is. In fact, I've gone so far as to actually pre-write your speech for you so that if you don't want to think about it, you can just literally read what I've written. On the flip side of it, if you want to do a little thinking through, that's one of the things that I like to do face-to-face in person, because there's a couple of cool tips and tricks there that make it feel really personable for your guests. From there, following the speeches, we can elect to do a couple of things. A simple thing is if you're inviting children to the wedding, we can throw a little kids dance. 10, 15 minutes, you play Baby Shark and a couple of the little kids songs. Just let them come out and get their wiggles out on the dance floor. If the group didn't have a chance to laugh together, then sometimes it's kind of fun for me to do something, because what I've found is that if they laugh together, they tend to stick around and stay. Specifically, they tend to dance together. So sometimes those activities consist of like a brain freeze game where the wedding party comes up and we ask them to come up with one word that relates to whatever the topic is. Sometimes it's question where couples get a chance to ask questions back and forth and the audience gets to hear what the questions are. And sometimes it's just taking you guys and, like we said before, doing the back-to-back game. So make the decision if after the meal we want to take 5-10 minutes or whatever and do a quick little activity. From there, it's time to dance. Most couples choose to do some sort of first dance, and this can be kind of a sweet moment for you guys. One, pick a song. I'll announce you, ladies and gentlemen, turn your undivided attention on out here to the dance floor. This is our first dance as husband and wife. And then from there, we're into the parent dances. So do you want to do a father-daughter dance? Do you want to do a mother-son dance? Is it important to you to do some sort of family dance or maybe a grandparent dance? And then general dancing for the night. Your job is to pick which specialty songs that you would like to do. Would you like to do a father-daughter dance, a mother-son dance? Do you want to do a family dance? Are we going to do an anniversary dance? And then specifically, what songs would you like played during those specialty dances? Many weddings still have some sort of bouquet toss, and the idea that's worked really, really well is to throw a bouquet not only to the single ladies, but to all of the women, and make the bouquet out of lottery tickets. So you just take regular flowers, throw a few little lottery tickets in there, and then when it's for everyone, it feels like it's inclusive instead of like, hey, if you're single and lonely at this wedding, please come out to the dance floor, right? So throw a bouquet of lottery tickets and make a decision, do you want to do a bouquet? Many of the grooms that I work with these days elect to not do a garter removal at all. If you do choose to do one, there's several creative kind of tchotchke ways of doing it that are kind of wild and different. Again, that's one of the things that when I sit down with you guys in person, if you want to do that, I'll give you the options for it and we can kind of work through it. But most of the guys these days, probably 60-80% of them, are electing not to do a garter removal at all. When it comes to how you're going to wrap up your wedding reception, there's a couple of things that have been consistent. One of them is playing Piano Man at the end of the night. A lot of couples like to do that. Another thing too is taking a big photo at the end of the night. The couple that I'm working for this weekend, they're doing a sparkler exit, right? Where you have all the sparklers up in the air. So make some decisions of how you would like to wrap up the night, and more specifically know this. 20 years ago when I started to do this, people would party till midnight and 1 and 2. I was seeing that all the time 20 years ago. These days, it seems like you get 2.5 hours of solid dancing out of most wedding groups. By 3 hours, the group is kind of done. So more and more I'm seeing 11 and 12 o'clock wrap up times as a general rule of thumb. So my question to you is, how do you want to wrap it up? Is there a couple of special songs that you would like to use at the end of the night? And more in particular, can I take a big end of the night photo with everyone that made it to the very end of the night? Another service that I offer for many of the weddings that I work with is to do the video production for it. Let me just say this, the only reason to have me come and do the wedding for your video is to play the footage back during your meal. There's nothing as cool or impressive than watching your wedding video on your wedding day during the meal to your wedding reception. It is unbelievable for the guests. And mainly because the guests, more than anything in the world, love seeing pictures of themselves. So do a little bit of thinking if you would like me to do that for you, and then that's one of the things that we'll talk about when we meet with you in person. Let's take a minute and talk about having an on-site wedding and what all goes into that. The first thing is this, is you got to pick a couple of songs. What song do you want to walk into? What song do you want your wedding party to walk into? Do you want a song played underneath if there's a sand ceremony or a reading? And then what song do you want to walk out to? As far as the mics go, here's what goes into it. Usually the officiant has a headset mic. Typically most weddings still have a reader, so they have a wireless handheld mic. And then most weddings, we like to mic the groom. So just a little clip-on lavalier mic like I'm wearing right here, and that's what goes onto the groom. Everything is wireless. If you choose to have a singer or a piano player, a little string quartet, I'll help you out with that when we meet with you. So that's the stuff that goes into the on-site wedding. At the end of the day, I cannot wait to help you guys have an absolutely unbelievable wedding experience. There's a lot of complexity that goes into that. I realize that. Part of the fun of working with me is you get a chance to use everything that's happened before me and all of that experience to make your event truly unbelievable. And that's what I love doing. So think about which moments that you would like included with your wedding reception, and then we'll talk about those when we sit down and meet with you in person.